Hasta la vista, baby. I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. You forgot to say please.
Hey, do you know this guy?
Nah, I don't know. John, man, there's this cop scoping for you. Check it out. Split, man, just go.
No! No! They'll kill us all! They'll kill us all!
Come with me if you want to live.
The future's not set. There's no figure out what we make for ourselves.
I'll take you off the police.
Hey, wait, you swore!
Trust me.
I don't know how much longer I can hold this.
Order you not to go. I order you not to go. I order you not to go.
I know now why you cry. But it's something I can never do.
Imagine, if you will, a world where the refined elegance of a bygone era collides with the relentless pulse of futuristic rebellion. A tale where metal and flesh meet in a dance of destiny. A film that transcends mere spectacle to touch the very heart of what it means to be human. Terminator 2: Judgment Day is not simply a blockbuster bursting with explosive set pieces. It is a poetic journey into the duality of existence. At its core, this masterpiece weaves an unlikely friendship between a relentless machine and a resilient human spirit, inviting us to explore a tender, transformative connection born amidst chaos. In a world where the line between destruction and redemption blurs, the film challenges us to see beyond the gleam of cold steel. It tells the story of a guardian emerging from an enemy's shell, a narrative that resonates with the warmth of loyalty and the bittersweet beauty of sacrifice. With every pulse-pounding moment, T2 reminds us that beneath the relentless march of progress, there lies a profound story of hope, friendship, and the unyielding human spirit. Few moments in cinema transcend the ordinary, when a film doesn't just raise the bar, but rather hurls it into the stratosphere, shattering every preconceived notion of blockbuster grandeur. Terminator 2: Judgment Day is that transcendent marvel, with an investment soaring between 94 and 102 million, a sum so monumental it crowned the film as the most lavish production of its time. It evolved beyond mere entertainment into a full-blown cinematic revolution.
I need 10 new fingernails. No, it was great. Seriously.
I'm blown away. I'm like in a state of shock. It's like fantasy come true.
In a feat as audacious as it was poetic, the film recouped its entire budget in just 12 days, leaving even the most jaded studio executives in a state of awe, as if to whisper, "Now, that is a return on investment for the history books." And so, as we revisit these iconic moments where even a hardened Terminator reveals a hint of compassion,
No problemo.
we are invited to remember why, sometimes, amidst the noise and fury of life, we cry not out of sorrow, but in awe of the enduring power of connection. Behind that astronomical price tag lay a production built on guts, grit, and a fucking refusal to compromise. James Cameron, a man who'd rather risk it all than settle for mediocrity, marshaled a crew that was nothing short of a cinematic SWAT team.
I do a lot of visual research, I do a lot of technical research. The more fantastic the subject, the more realistic the situation needs to be.
The legendary Stan Winston Studios labored to create tangible, practical effects, from the imposing, muscle-bound T-800 skeletal framework to the grotesquely lifelike animatronics that still make your skin crawl.
When we had to create ashen bodies that were going to be blown away by a nuclear holocaust, it was very unsettling. And it was the one time when you got a little uncomfortable because it wasn't pleasant to look at while you were shooting it. But it is the important aspect of the film.
Meanwhile, Industrial Light and Magic was busy bending the very rules of computer-generated imagery, breathing life into the liquid metal T-1000, a character so innovative that rendering just 15 seconds of his morphing spectacle sometimes took up to 10 bloody days.
Every time there is a new technology, there is a paranoid faction of less than brilliant artists who feel that that's the end of their career, who don't understand that art never dies, that technology will go on and serve art, but art never dies.
It was an era when CGI was in its infancy, yet Cameron's vision turned it into a technology that would forever change special effects, and the result was nothing short of groundbreaking.
The thing I like about Robert was he kind of looks like a cat in a way. It's almost like it's about senses with him. You know, you feel that he's very in touch with the world and analyzing it and observing it.
Think of it as teaching Shakespeare to a toddler and somehow getting a bloody sonnet in return. Yet it wasn't merely the revolutionary technical wizardry that elevated T2. Its performances were nothing short of transcendent. Arnold Schwarzenegger re-emerged as the reprogrammed Terminator, infusing a once implacable machine with a subtle gravitas that transformed him into a guardian forged of tempered steel. His iconic one-liners, especially the immortal
Hasta la vista, baby,
really echo through cinematic history with an effortless, timeless cool. Meanwhile, Linda Hamilton's Sarah Connor underwent a metamorphosis so profound that even nature's chameleon would seem mundane in comparison. She evolved from a beleaguered survivor into a formidable warrior, a force of nature whose transformation was as moving as it was visceral. And then there's young John Connor, embodied by Edward Furlong, a raw, unpolished beacon of hope and the future of humanity. Their on-screen chemistry crackled like live wire, electrifying every explosive set piece and every heart-stopping chase with an intensity that still sends shivers down the spine. Cameron's relentless drive and his trademark perfectionism were the engine powering this cinematic juggernaut. The man would push everyone to their absolute limits, demanding endless takes, scrutinizing every frame until it was as crisp and dynamic as a perfectly poured pint at your local pub. His dictatorial manner, which even earned the crew t-shirts that proudly declared, "You can't scare me, I work for Jim Cameron," wasn't just about control. It was about making sure every second of the film was as electrifying as the last. Every explosion, every fucking bullet, every fender-bending car chase was meticulously choreographed to create an experience so immersive and thrilling that it left audiences both awestruck and emotionally moved. And let's not forget the financial firepower that fueled this beast. A significant slice of the budget went to the stars. Schwarzenegger pocketed a jaw-dropping $15 million, a figure that might make you think his performance was worth every penny.
It is I'm too handsome. No camera can take all these good looks. So what they do in every movie basically is they put appliances on and terrible makeup on to kind of tone my looks down a little bit so I match up to the rest of the actors in the movie.
There were even whispers of him receiving a Gulfstream jet worth upwards of $11 million, a testament to the sheer scale of investment that T2 represented. With such colossal stakes, the film wasn't just about making a statement, it was about rewriting the rulebook of blockbuster filmmaking and doing it with an unapologetic, in-your-face style. What makes T2 truly extraordinary isn't just its technical achievements or commercial success, it's how it redefined what action cinema could be. Cameron didn't just craft a sequel, he created a masterpiece that expanded on its predecessor in every conceivable way. Where the original Terminator was a lean, mean sci-fi horror hybrid, T2 was a sprawling epic that balanced spectacular action with genuine pathos and philosophical depth. The film's exploration of humanity, particularly through the evolving relationship between John Connor and the T-800, gave emotional weight to what could have been just another mindless explosion fest. That iconic scene where young John teaches the machine to high-five, to understand why humans cry, it wasn't just character development, it was a profound statement about the human condition itself, about our capacity to find connection in the most unlikely places. Those action sequences, truly some of cinema's most impeccably orchestrated spectacles, remain an enduring symphony of tension and kinetic brilliance. The electrifying mole chase, the nerve-wracking canal escape, and the breathtaking assault on Cyberdyne systems each serve as masterclasses in visual storytelling where every frame vibrates with meticulously crafted suspense. Cameron's genius lies in transcending mere spectacle. He immerses us in stakes so palpable that each impact, every narrow escape, and every triumphant surge resonates deep within. When that semi-truck collides with the concrete drainage channel, it's not merely witnessed, it's felt, reverberating like an unexpected, rapturous night out that shatters the monotony of the ordinary. Fast forward to today, and despite the absence of a new movie in some time, the Terminator legacy has not been allowed to fade into obscurity. Instead, it's been kept alive, vibrantly and unapologetically through television, and, more crucially for the fans, video games. Enter Terminator 2D, No Fate, the latest love letter to this iconic film and a return to the glory days of action-packed, no-nonsense entertainment. Developed by Bitmap Bureau, the same brilliant minds behind Xenocrisis and Final Vendetta, this retro-style side-scroller is everything we adored about T2 in its prime. In Terminator 2D, No Fate, players get to inhabit the roles of Sarah Connor, the T-800, and an adult John Connor in a game that isn't bogged down by wokeness or agenda-driven politics. It's pure, old-fashioned action with a dash of irreverence. When you take control of the T-800, prepare to shoot, punch, and absolutely obliterate anything in your path, with one sequence even promising a hilariously audacious moment where the Terminator goes buck-ass nude.
Take off your clothes.
Patient time.
And as John, you're thrust into a post-apocalyptic battlefield, running and gunning your way through hordes of foes as you lead the resistance in a bid to finally bring down Skynet. It's about as subtle as a brick through a Harrods window and just as satisfying. What makes No Fate particularly exciting is its blend of nostalgia and innovation. Bitmap Bureau isn't just rehashing the old game adaptations, which, let's be honest, were mostly straightforward adaptations of the film. No, they're weaving in specific, iconic scenes from T2 with brand new original moments that add depth and unexpected twists to the story. Multiple endings mean that your choices matter, allowing for various outcomes where humanity might be saved or further doomed, depending on your actions. This is the kind of design that rewards multiple playthroughs and taps into the very spirit of the film, a celebration of action, ingenuity, and a bit of rebellion against the mundane. For those who grew up in the 90s, when every frame of Terminator 2 was a rite of passage, this game is like discovering the T2 game we should have had back in our youth. Remember the Game Boy adaptation that featured the iconic bike chase scene, or that 2D Sega Mega Drive shooter that captured the grim, gory aesthetic of the film? No Fate channels all that raw energy and nostalgia, delivering a gameplay experience that's as much a tribute to the past as it is a fresh, pulse-pounding adventure in its own right. Of course, we must keep our expectations in perspective. This is a 2D side-scroller, not a sprawling, open-world RPG. It won't rewrite the rulebook on gaming or snatch awards left, right, and center, but it does exactly what it promises: a no-bullshit, adrenaline-fueled romp through scenes that feel ripped from the very best moments of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. As Mike Tucker put it,
we feel like it's the T2 game we should have had back in our youth.
And isn't that a refreshing blast of authenticity in a world full of trend-chasing and politically correct bullshit? It's as rare and welcome as finding an honest fucking politician or a London tube train with air conditioning in August. So here we are, standing on the shoulders of a cinematic titan. Terminator 2 Judgment Day isn't just a film, it's one of the single greatest Hollywood blockbusters of all time. A beautifully paced, spectacular action movie that's as thrilling today as it was when it first smashed onto the screen. It's a film that made us believe in the impossible, that taught us there's no fate but what we make for ourselves, and that a little bit of rebellious spirit can change the world. In the twilight of this reflection, we find ourselves drawn back to those immortal lines that have become more than dialogue. They've become a cultural shorthand, a way of understanding the very soul of this film.
I'll be back,
he promised us. And in our hearts, in our collective consciousness, the T-800 never truly left.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Not just a cool sign-off, but a perfect encapsulation of the film's blend of menace and unexpected humor. These aren't just catchphrases, they're the beating, mechanical heart of a film that understood action cinema isn't just about spectacle, it's about forging an unbreakable connection with the audience. Through every bullet fired, every explosion detonated, every liquid metal morph, T2 reached through the screen and grabbed us by the fucking throat, forcing us to confront not just our fears of technology run amok, but also our hopes for redemption, for connection, for a future where even machines might learn the value of a human life. As the T-800 lowered himself into that molten steel, thumb raised in a final gesture of understanding, of sacrifice, of something approaching love, Cameron wasn't just ending a movie, he was searing its legacy into our collective consciousness. Decades later, that image still burns bright, still evokes a lump in the throat, still reminds us why we fell in love with this brutal, beautiful cinematic miracle in the first place. Whether you first encountered T2 amid the static of a worn VHS or under the dazzling glare of a modern cinema, its relentless pulse leaves an indelible mark on the soul. In this epic clash between flesh and machine, every scene shimmers with a raw, unfiltered energy, a ballet of unyielding steel and human grit. The T-800's steely, unblinking gaze and the T-1000's airy liquid metal morphing evoke a world where the boundaries between man and machine dissolve into sparks and molten resolve.
People accept this possibility that there can be a blend between a human component and a machine component. And I think it's just an aspect of our lives right now that we're so surrounded by machines all the time. And the fact that we can accept that, to me, is the most amazing thing of all.
Amid roaring engines and explosive battles, Sarah Connor's fierce determination and John's fragile hope become the heartbeats of a future written in fire and defiance. In the midst of its explosive sequences lies a quiet, haunting grace, a reminder that even in chaos there is art, and in every battle a whisper of hope. Arnold's immortal promise, "I'll be back," isn't merely a catchphrase, it's a resounding pledge that the relentless pulse of this film will forever echo in our hearts. It's a breathtaking, chaotic spectacle that shouts into the void, challenging the passage of time with a middle finger and a resounding, "This is fucking unforgettable." Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, stay chic, stay tech savvy, and most importantly, stay tuned for more exciting content here on Chick Tech Spotlight. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content coming your way real soon.